What up, world? I want to thank y'all for tuning in. It's your boy Vegas Money. Before I get into my topic, I'm going to shout out everybody that will watch this video, everybody that will thumbs up, like, and subscribe to me. I'm going to shout out everybody, my YouTube family that I haven't spoke with in a while. But to get straight into it, I wanted to touch on the topic. I actually was watching the JoJo Capone video when he was speaking with a young lady. I don't know her name, but I guess she was a card reader, a psychic or whatever. She speak to the dead or whatever. Excuse me. She speak to the dead, psychic or whatever. It just brought back some memories with me. In a case that I was fighting, and I wanted to share that with my audience. I know I don't have a real big audience, but hopefully somebody can get something from my video. But once again, it's Vegas Money. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. So to get into it, I was fighting a case, right? It was a robbery case, and it was a armed robbery and an assault case that I was fighting. And I was going back and forth to court with this case. If you ever been in any trouble, if you know what I'm talking about, you know. If you take it to trial, you get to pick your jury, and you get to pick. I think it's 16, but you get to pick 12 out of 16. I was going to court back and forth, so I finally was getting ready to go to court to be able to pick my jury. And one of the jurors was a police officer. Another juror was just a regular worker, but the main juror that I want to speak about was a psychic. And before I get into that, excuse me, it's kind of early. But yeah, one of the jurors was a psychic, and one was a police officer. So my lawyer was like, he told me off the top, he was like, we got to get rid of this fucking police officer. He was like, we getting rid of this son of a bitch. You know how they reach over and say something to you. He was like, we got to get rid of that son of a bitch. He can sway the jury. I'm like, get rid of him then, because at the end of the day, I'm not no innocent person. I've did a lot of things in my lifetime that I don't glorify. I did a lot of things in my lifetime that I feel like I did my time and I didn't pay my debt. And I also feel like there's some people that I want to say personally too that please forgive me. I apologize. I did some wrong to men and women. I've caused harm and hurt people in my community that I do regret. Am I sitting here acting like I've never killed no one? But I've did a lot of harm and destruction in my community. But back to what I was saying. We finally reached the time to pick the jury. And the judge asks everybody, you know, if you've been to trial or if you ever been to court, and you know you got motherfuckers walking past, you got to make sure you on point. But and this ain't my neighborhood. But anyways, if you've ever been to trial, you're able to pick 12 out of 16, and we got to deliberating furthest, me and my lawyer, on who would be the best fit to give me a fair case, give me a chance. And the judge asks everyone what what they do for a living, like if you work or if you, whatever the case may be. So fast forward, everybody was, post office, whatever the case, they just had jury duty. And he finally got to the psychic. So the psychic was like, I'm a world-renowned psychic. I've been on this television show. I've been on that television show. I've been here. I wrote this book. I wrote that book. I've interviewed this person. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm saying to myself, like, what the fuck? Like, so my judge, fuck it, I think it's John Corrigan. Peter Corrigan or some shit. It's Corrigan. It's one of the Corrigans. He put her on the spot. He asked her, he was like, so if you are basically what you say you are, tell me what the defendant or whoever the fuck I was at that time, what is he here for and what is his charges? So this motherfucker, this bitch was like, well, I'm reading that he's here for armed robbery and assault. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, this bitch might really sway these people to thinking that I really did this shit. Like, I really didn't do this shit, though. Mind you, I really didn't do it. And I give y'all a backstory. I don't know if I did this on my channel before, but I really would give y'all a quick backstory on what happened. But I really didn't do this shit. I was at a bar. Mind you, I was on probation. I had caught a little dope case. I got caught with like 15 rocks, whatever. I don't know. I got caught with some rocks and some weed or some shit that I had on me and like $1,000 or some shit. I was on probation for that. Mind you, the whole time that I was on probation, I never really took the time out to read the paper that they give you saying that you're not allowed to be around felons, you're not allowed to go to bars or hang out in certain places. I didn't read that shit when they gave me the package, so I didn't know. I was at every dollar night. I was kicking it. Like I was kicking it. I was big kicking it. And on this particular night, I had went to the fucking bar. I went to dollar night. I had about $4,500 in my pocket. And the whole time during the day, I was kicking it with some dudes, and they didn't have no money. I bought them some shirts, food, drinks all night at the bar. So I'm at the bar. Mind you, I didn't even see these females in the bar. And by looking at them in court, them wouldn't even be the type of females that I would talk to. So I was looking at them like, I don't remember seeing you at the bar because I wouldn't even speak to you in the bar. Because they was bull daggers. Like, I'm not trying to talk to no bitch that look like that. Like, but anyways, I kind of got thrown off. So we go to court and we picking a juror. So the psychic comes. She read everything and she was on point. So my lawyer leaned back over. He was like, we got to get rid of this bitch. Like, but it kind of threw me off a little bit because I didn't think that type of shit was real. She didn't know me from a can of paint. That was the first time that she ever seen me. She wasn't even able to read my court case. But I didn't think that kind of shit was real. So the JoJo Capone shit kind of gave me the, you know what I'm saying, to talk about mines, dealing with them type of people. I ain't never had no card read, none of that shit. But she read the fuck out of me. But the only thing she didn't do was tell them that I was motherfucking innocent. And that I didn't rob the motherfuckers. Like, that was my only thing. Like, okay, bitch, if you can sense and read all this shit, tell them that I didn't have nothing to do with it. Tell the motherfucking court that I had more than enough money in my pocket to replace whatever was stolen. And also, when it happened, I seen what happened. I seen the robbery take place. I was there. I said that in the statement. I was there along with a gang of motherfuckers in a gas station. I seen what happened. I don't know the motherfucker that did it, but I seen what happened just like everybody else. I don't know dude that robbed them. I don't know, but I saw what happened. So you can't say I had something to do with it. It's 1,000 people in the gas station. Not only that, if I was with somebody that robbed somebody, wouldn't I leave with that person to go break bread or whatever we took? Why in the fuck would I stick around and try to help the people that was robbed? Why the fuck would I stick around? I didn't have shit to do with it. The bitch was just so upset that he stole her weed, he stole her whatever the fuck he took from her. I don't know. But I didn't have shit to do with it. And my thing was, if you was a real psychic, you should have just said, I don't believe he had nothing to do with that shit, because I'm saying that he had plenty of money in his pocket, and he had plenty of money in his pocket during the day, and he spent plenty. He didn't have nothing to do with this shit. That's what I would think. So, just kind of fast forward, we got rid of the bitch. She wasn't a part of our jury, and the cop, we got rid of his ass too. Make a long story short, I ended up beating the case. I took it to trial. I beat the fucking case. I was looking at 9 years or 10 years or some shit. I beat the case. They came back from their deliberation and they said on count 1, armed robbery or whatever the fuck it was, not guilty. I can remember me just sitting in that motherfucker just like, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus. This how good God is, man, because I went from thank you, Jesus so quick, and then they came back on count 2, assault. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. I'm thinking I'm about to go home, get fresh, smoke some weed, get a bottle, call me one of these little freaks. God had a different plan for me. So the judge, they ended what they said, and the judge was like, do you have anything you had to say? I came up with a motherfucking Martin Luther King speech on the spot. Freestyle. So I go, I give him my speech. I give him my spiel. So the judge was like, okay, well, still gonna send your ass to prison. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm thinking once you beat the case, you go home, because just in a blink of an eye, I went from thanking God and thanking Jesus to them hearing said to me hearing them say not guilty. Oh, I'm about to go. I'm about to get this money. I went from thanking Jesus to I'm about to get this money, take me a shower, give me some weed. God said, no, I'm gonna sit your punk ass down. He sat my punk ass down. And after I gave my profound speech, that motherfucker sentenced me to prison. I was mad as a motherfucker until I went back to the pod dorm or whatever y'all call them, wherever y'all from. We call them pods in Cleveland. So he sent me back to the pod. I was mad as a motherfucker. Like, damn, I got to do 18 months. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought I won. I thought if you win. But me not knowing, like I said in the beginning, I didn't read the fine print. I basically told on myself when I said that I was at the bar, but I didn't know that I wasn't able to go to the bar while you was on probation. I didn't know I went every motherfucking, I went 3-4 times a week, every week. I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to go because I didn't read the fucking paper. I threw the paper out. I was just happy to be out of jail. So I threw the fucking paper away. But that was the best thing that happened to me because, and I'll get this to the youth, that was the best thing that happened to me because I haven't been back to prison since. I'm not no jail nigga. I don't have 1,000 jail stories, 1,000 war stories from prison and fights. No, I'm not no jail nigga. I like the free world. I did my little time, and I came home with the right mind frame. I came home ready to change. It changed me. It didn't change me because I didn't see no gay shit. I didn't get into no fights. I didn't. It was really time for me to. It was really somewhat like Jesus in the desert, getting his mind clear and getting his body right to to come back to this free world, and that's what it did for me. Um, was I somebody that I thought fucking right? Did I know a lot of motherfuckers in there? You goddamn right, and I got sick of them niggas. I got tired of hanging by the basketball court, drinking hooch, and telling the same old war stories. I ended up breaking off from niggas, doing my own thing, reading, getting away from niggas because I always felt like if a nigga beat you up, he beat you up. Don't come get me because I'm not worried about none of that shit. I'm not joining none of you niggas' gangs. I'm not none of that. You know what I'm saying? I got with a couple cool niggas that was on the same thing that I was on, and we was on our cool shit. All that wild, dumb shit. If a nigga play with me, I can handle my own business. I wasn't worried about that. It ain't like I was some type of nigga that was starting prayer circles and all that old trying to be on the church vibe. Nah, but I ain't with the dumb shit. If a nigga don't try to recruit me because you know I go. I was never no dumb monkey. You can't recruit me to crash out for your cause. So I broke off from them niggas. I speak, but hanging and being around you niggas telling the same war stories I wasn't with, and it changed my life for the better. And I've been out for, I'll say, 15 to 16 years, and it changed my life for the better. But I only was telling y'all that to say, basically speaking on the reading I heard from JoJo Capone. Shout out to JoJo Capone. I hope you whoop that nigga Gully, man. Please whoop that nigga. I'm gonna be so mad at you if you let that nigga beat you, Gully, man. I mean, JoJo. If that nigga whoop you, man, I swear to, man, I'm gonna be so mad, man. He gonna pull me out of retirement. But once again, I just want to thank y'all for tuning in. It's your boy Vegas Money. I'm chilling, sipping, about to go in here and eat some food. I'm still in the hood. This is actually, I can't give y'all the hood. This the hood. Hood. But thank y'all for tuning in. Once again, this Vegas Money. I didn't know that I can go live from my computer, so I go live. Sometimes I help me get my subscribers up, so when I'm out and about and I'm around some real people, I want to go live at that time because it's more realer when you're going live. And I can share some real stories with y'all from some real people live. So I'm still not on begging for donations or anything like that. I'm still getting my company from the ground. I thought it was a quicker process, but anything that is worth anything, it don't come easy. So I'm still working on that, and I will update y'all as things move along. But Happy New Year to everybody. Love to all my YouTube family. Vegas Money, I'm out.